Hmm.
Ada.
Ya, ya. Bikin aja apa aja kan janjian dulu.
Oh, thank you.
Oke.
Sudah di.
Oke. Ladies and gentlemen, before we begin the webinar, let us stand at attention while singing and listening to the Indonesian National Anthem, followed by the Indonesia
Recording in
Broadcasting
progress.
Commission Anthem. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Michael, your host today for today's webinar. Welcome to the Indonesia Broadcasting Commission End of Year Digital Broadcasting Webinar. We are very delighted to welcome the Honorable Chairman of Indonesia Broadcasting Commission, Mr. Ubaidillah, to the Honorable ranks of KPI Commissioners, Mr. Muhammad Reza, Mr. Tulus Santoso, Mr. Muhammad Hasrul Hasan, Mr. Imade Sunarsa, Mrs. Alia, Mr. Amin Syabana, Mrs. Evri Rizky Monarsi, and Mrs. Mima Susanti, and also the Secretary of Indonesia Broadcasting Commission, Mr. Umri. And to Mrs. Munaya, Directorate of Politics and Communications at the Ministry of National Development Planning or Bappenas. We are also pleased to greet the participating speakers for this webinar from Malaysia, Thailand, Cambodia, Myanmar, and the Philippines. And finally, we are excited to welcome all of the attending participants from Indonesia and all over the Southeast Asia region. The 2024 End of Year Digital Broadcasting Webinar carries the theme Artificial Intelligence Integration and Industry Trends in Southeast Asia. Therefore, each speaker, as a representative of their respective country, will present the dynamics of the digital broadcasting ecosystem in their nation and its connection to the presence of AI. This webinar aims to create an interactive atmosphere, allowing the forum to ask questions and provide responses after all of the speakers deliver the material. To officially open the webinar, let us all listen to the opening remarks from the chairman of the Indonesia Broadcasting Commission or KPI, Mr. Ubaidillah.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, Isti upon us, Salam, Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, Salam Kebajikan. Distinguished guests, the Minister of Communication and Digital of the Republic of Indonesia, Mrs. Mutia Fiada Habib, respected attendees, representative of ASEAN member states, broadcasting institution, association, the well universities across Indonesia, and all the esteemed attendees. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, and representatives from ASEAN and friendly countries, this forum has great significance for the Indonesia Broadcasting Commission. In addition to strength bilateral relations among friendly countries, this forum serves as a platform for discussing the latest issues in the broadcasting and information sector amid the rapidly evolving digital technology landscape. Please allow us to extend our sincerely gratitude to all distinguished guests for your vision and participation at the end of your digital broadcasting webinar, Artificial Intelligence and Industry Trends in Southeast Asia. We hope this forum will generate relevant and strategic recommendations to support various efforts toward broadcasting democratization in its respective country. Digitalization in broadcasting has become a priority of Indonesian Broadcasting Commission in building a democratic public sphere. We believe that adopting digital advancement in broadcasting will establish equitable access to information that distribute to the public. The equitable access will serve as a key to fostering social cohesion, not only for Indonesia, but also for other ASEAN member countries. Through digitalization, we are not merely exchanging information, but also creating a space for the exchange of ideas and the celebrating of unique cultures among nations. This includes enhancing cooperation in the media industry business sector. Therefore, the Indonesia Broadcasting Commission is firmly committed to adapting to the latest technology developments, so that the broadcasting continues to deliver the best and meaningful impact for the advancement of all nations. We hope this can be interpreted as a testament to Indonesian open to enhancing cooperation in the media industry, especially among ASEAN countries. In closing, law us to serve Indonesia philosophy that always guides us, Bhinneka Tunggal Ika. This philosophy underscores our belief that unity and harmony are sacred values amid diversity. Despite our difference, we hope this forum will lead us toward a shared vision and mission of achieving progress and common prosperity. And this commitment will continue to be integrated into Indonesia government program, including various broadcasting projects that we will discuss and mutually agree upon in this forum. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Introductory remarks. Now, I'll invite all of the participants to open their camera, and together we'll have a group photo. Okay. In the count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and one more time. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hopefully, the important points that have been conveyed by the Chairman of Indonesia Broadcasting Commission can direct us to discuss more deeply about the current digital broadcasting ecosystem. Now, we are entering the discussion segment of today's event. This part of the end of the year digital broadcasting webinar will be moderated by Intan Syafira Gustia. Intan is a teaching assistant for the Department of Communication Science, Universitas Indonesia, as well as the Secretary General for Korea-Indonesian Connection at Faculty of Social and Political Science, Universitas Indonesia. She has a master's degree in consumer with experience in market research and marketing. And please welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Intan Syafira Gustia.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for the introduction. I'm Intan, and it is an honor for me to be moderating today's webinar. On today's webinar, we will be listening to presentations from 6 outstanding speakers today, representing each Southeast Asia countries. Each will be giving around 10 minutes of presentation, followed by a Q&A session for 30 minutes. Today's presentation will cover 2 different topics with 3 speakers in each one. First one is artificial intelligence integration in the Southeast Asia broadcasting ecosystem. Following that, the second topic is on Southeast Asia digital broadcasting trends and regulations. Now, without further ado, let me introduce you to our first speaker representing Indonesia, Mr. Amin Syabana, the Commissioner for Komisi Penyiaran Indonesia. Mr. Amin Syabana is an alumnus of the Master of Communication Management from the University of Indonesia in 2007, and since 2016, Amin Syabana has been listed as a permanent lecturer in the Communication Studies program at the University of Muhammadiyah, Jakarta. In addition to being active as an academic, Mr. Amin Syabana is also active in several organizations, such as the Bombo Forum, the Matahatiku Foundation, and On Point Communications. Today, he will be giving his presentation on broadcasting industry challenges in the digital era. Everyone, please welcome Mr. Amin Syabana.
Okay, thank you, Intan. Good morning, everyone. So before I start presenting my slide, I'd like to greet my fellow commissioners from Indonesia Broadcasting Commission who might be joining in Zoom as well, and then also the distinguished guests, speakers from 6 fellow Asian countries, Malaysia, Thailand, Myanmar, Philippines, Cambodia, and of course Indonesia, and then also the participants from all ASEAN state members countries, and then also from I see Indonesia Broadcasting Commissions at the provincial level, universities, students. Thank you for spending your valuable days this morning. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to share my slide. So before I start to discuss about the artificial intelligence in Indonesia broadcasting industry, I'd like to share a brief about the profile of Komisi Penyiaran Indonesia, or what we call Indonesia Broadcasting Commission. Slide, please. So, well, actually, Indonesia Broadcasting Commissions is mandated by the Law 32 year 2002, and it's not long before the Reformation era in 1998 when it broke out in Indonesia. And as mandated by the law, we are still waiting the slides. All right. So as you see, the next slide, please. Okay. So Indonesia Broadcasting Commission is independent state institutions. As I mentioned before, the organization or the institutions was set up based on Act number 32/2002 on broadcasting. In terms of what we have as the main task is to regulate broadcast related matters. In these terms, the broadcasting terms is only TV and radio for free to air. So we do not regulate the OTT or the new media, not yet, because we still use the law number 32/2002. And then KPI itself consists of central KPI in the capital city, and then the regional KPI at the provincial levels. There are now 32 KPID, or what we call KPI at the provincial levels. So, next slide. So, as mandated by the law, of course, we have to run the vision and mission of our organizations. The vision itself is the realization of a national broadcasting system that is just and dignified to be utilized as much as possible for the welfare of society. And then the mission itself, there are 4 points that you can read from my slide, and one of them is to building KPI institution and community participation in broadcasting operations. And next slide, please. So regarding the Article 8, at least there are 5 KPI authorities. One is to establish broadcast program standards, and then we also formulate regulation and establish broadcasting behavior guidelines. And the third, supervise the implementation of broadcasting regulation and code of conduct, as well as broadcast program standards, and provide sanctions for violations of broadcasting regulations only for TV and radio, and code of conduct as well as broadcast program standards. And the last, coordinating and or collaborating with the governments, broadcasting institution, and the community. So the forum that we carry out this morning is part of the KPI authority at the point E. So speaking about the broadcasting ecosystem in Indonesia, now Komisi Penyiaran Indonesia or Indonesia Broadcasting Commission is fostering the stronger ecosystem broadcasting in our country, starting from the upstreams to the downstreams. For the upstreams, we encourage and formulate the creations of digital broadcasting regulations and policies. Now we are still advocating the new revisions of broadcasting law. It's still in the House of Representatives. We hope that in this new period, the new broadcasting regulation will be imposed by our lawmakers. And then still for the upstreams, we conduct supervisions of digital broadcasting institutions, and then synergize and strengthen the role of educational institutions, universities in healthy, quality, and dignified digital broadcasting ecosystem. Meanwhile, for the downstream itself, yeah, we try to strengthen the quality of broadcast content and encouraging the growth of a community of content creators who produce quality content. And then we also carry out the regular P3 SPS, or what we call broadcasting standard conducts, and then workshop, technical guidance, and then we also do what we call the quality contents index for TV. It's been like 10 years that we already do for the quality content index in Indonesia for TV. And then opening up opportunities for local culture-based content from local creators. Next slide, please. So ladies and gentlemen, Indonesia Broadcasting Commission monitoring, like I mentioned, TV and radio. So in this slide, we can see that the number of private broadcasting institutions that we monitor, there are 20, and then there are also 23 digital TV broadcastings, 5 subscription-based broadcasting institutions, and then 15 private broadcasting institutions. And to monitor the TV and radio broadcasters, we have like 142 monitoring staffs, and then we still use using broadcasting information systems. It's still quite traditional, but we already tried to integrate the systems using the broadcasting information systems while monitoring 24 hours a day the content of TV and radio. Next slide, please. So as I mentioned earlier, that one of the authority that the law mandated to KPI is to give the sanction. So here are the flow chart how we give the sanction for the TV and radio companies who violate the broadcasting code of conduct. First layer is we have the monitoring analysis teams. The teams will identify and take off potential violations, and then the teams will describe the potential of violations, and then they will put the tagging and then the assessment. And then after the analysis teams, they share it to visual data team. In this desk, the visual data team will also describe our violations and broadcast program naming, daily broadcast cuts, broadcast formats, identifications, and ad identifications naming. And then from the visual data team, they will forward it to the expert monitoring team. And in this desk, the team will initial verification alleged violation based on the broadcasting code of conduct, study and analysis of alleged violations, and then identification of types and percentage of advertisements. And then next is the monitoring coordinator. The team will final verifications of alleged violation based on broadcasting code of conduct, analysis of all alleged violations, and calculation of advertising percentage. And then from the monitoring coordinator will be given to the meeting of the all commissioners, and then the meeting of all commissioners will decide whether the materials will be given sanctions or not. Next slide. So all participants, this is the numbers of broadcasting institution post analog switch off. In Indonesia itself, we fully do the analog switch off since August 2023, and then of course we predict that there are many incoming new broadcasters, whether TV or radio, and here is the number as of July 2024. As you can see, thousands of radio and TV are coming now after the analog switch off. And then figuring out these numbers, of course, we now consider to use AI to carry out post analog switch off supervisions. Next slide, please. Why we think we need artificial intelligence for KPI itself to monitor the contents? Because we see that advancing technologies and upcoming trends are set to define the future of broadcast technology and content delivery, creating fresh opportunities for content creators, broadcasters, and audience alike. Cutting-edge technologies like 5G, cloud-based broadcasting, artificial intelligence, immersive innovation, and beyond 8K resolution are set to redefine the future of broadcasting, delivering unparalleled quality, immersive experience, and personalized contents. Unfortunately, Indonesia, like I mentioned earlier, we only have law that we issued since 2002, and we don't have any regulations related to how the artificial intelligence connect or intertwine with the today's broadcasting sectors. What we have today is various regulations related to digital broadcastings, the government regulation number 71 2019 on electronic system and transaction implementations. It regulates private electronic system organizers are required to register with the Ministry of Communication and Informations. And then the government regulations number 46 2021 on postal telecommunication and broadcastings. On Article 15 regulates the principles of cooperation between internet applications companies and telecommunication providers. And then the third regulations is from Minister of Finance regulations, procedures for appointment of collectors, collection, deposit, and reporting of value added tax on the utilizations of intangible taxable goods and or taxable services from outside the customs area within the customs area through electronic trading. And the last regulation that we just issued is Presidential Decree 32 year 2024 on the responsibility of digital platform companies to support quality journalism. So here we can see that there is no any regulations stating about the artificial intelligence for our broadcasting sectors. Next slide. Meanwhile, artificial intelligence is now happening not only in the digital area, but also in broadcastings. Here slide will give a brief information how we respond artificial intelligence, like from our previous Ministry of Communication and Informatics, number 9, year 2023, artificial intelligence is a form of programming on computer device to process and or process data carefully. Meanwhile, one of our local researchers said that artificial intelligence is a machine or program that can learn from the data and information given to it. Next slide. So the next slide still try to define what artificial intelligence regarding the foreign academia. From Fejo, artificial intelligence is developing at an unprecedented speed and has been widely utilized, impacting work and daily activities. The presence of AI also brings transformation and the development to the broadcasting and television industry regarding Long and Wu, and one of which is through the use of AI in broadcast monitoring, according to Huang. Next slide. So the integration of AI, meanwhile, in the broadcasting industry has sparked both concern and excitement, redefining roles and workflows within the industry. But AI isn't just about optimizing tasks, it's a catalyst for reshaping creativity and efficiency in broadcastings. Next slide. We also see that the artificial intelligence can strengthen broadcasting through real-time audience analysis and text data mining. It also echoed by Angga Priyansha, legal and AI expert from University of Indonesia. Next slide. All delegates and participants, we see that the AI content, AI integrations in broadcasting sectors put great challenges. So there are at least 3 challenges that we have to encounter. One is who owns the copyright when the AI integrations is put in our broadcasting contents. And then, can we really trust AI? Because as we know, today's everyone can put everything from the digital sources, and then we don't know how the credibility of the content itself that we get from the digital platforms. And then the last, of course, that we have to see where is the role of humans in the broadcasting industry. If all the technology occupied the broadcasting industry, and then it will also replace the humans resources in the broadcasting sectors itself. So there are 3 challenges that we have to discuss carefully in not only in respective countries but also in the region of Southeast Asia. So impact of AI itself on television content productions: first, strengthening content discovery, where broadcasters can better tailor to the audience personal taste. And then the second one, efficiency automations and encouraging creativity in content production, raise the standard of content quality. Therefore, it is important to pay attention to the ethical and regulatory consequences of AI implementation that Indonesia itself, like I mentioned earlier, yeah, we still don't have the regulations on artificial intelligence in our broadcasting sectors. Next slide. Okay, next slide, please. So the slide will be showing you about the implementation of artificial intelligence in our local broadcasting industry. This you can see that one of our broadcasting, private broadcasting company already used the artificial intelligence characters for their news anchors, and then they put into some of the programs. And of course, it will give a great impact for the audience when they see the host of the artificial intelligence characters. But so far we haven't see any academic research on how the impact of the artificial intelligence host on our TV broadcasting industry. Next slide. We'll also see another private broadcasting company in our country implementing of artificial intelligence characters in broadcasting in their programs. So what we can see, the implementation of AI in broadcasting industry is the presence of AI presenters is not yet optimal. Therefore, strengthening AI presenters need to be done to present interactive broadcast and efficient news presenters. Even though it seems like it can replace the role of humans in work, artificial intelligence remains a tool or device to improve human performance. Next slide. The audience recognized that emotional attachment is easier to establish with human presenters due to natural expressions and gestures. And in presenting the news, human news anchors sometimes do make mistakes that cannot be avoided. But artificial intelligence anchor news will never be misspoken because everything is computer operated. Okay, next, while some audience appreciate AI as a technological innovations in broadcasting, the majority of audience is still prefer human presenters, especially for news stories that require emotional depth or sensitive issues. The use of AI presenters also raise concern regarding transparency and ethical responsibility. Audience members questions whether AI could meet journalistic ethical standards such as accuracy, honesty, and social responsibility, which are generally the main demands for human journalists. Those are the result of research from the Simamora. Okay, all participants and delegates, that's all my presentation, and I hope we can have a fruitful forum and fruitful discussions during the Q&A. Thank you. Good day.
Thank you so much, Mr. Amin Syabana, for the insightful presentation on the state of Indonesia's broadcasting industry. Kind reminder to all speakers that each of you is given 10 to 15 minutes to present. Our second speaker, representing Malaysia, is Mrs. Shaharliza Saman, MCMC Head of Broadcasting Development Department. Mrs. Shaharliza has a degree in Bachelor of Science in Management with a minor in Management of Information System from Purdue University in the United States of America. She has 21 years of experience working in MCMC in the regulatory sector of telecommunications, broadcasting, and postal courier services. Currently, she led the Broadcasting Development Department with the core function of promoting the development of broadcasting in Malaysia, to ensure continuous growth and sustainability, and to drive initiatives on the adoption of future broadcasting for the industry. Today, she will be giving her presentation on artificial intelligence integration in Malaysia broadcasting ecosystem. Please give a warm welcome to Mrs. Shaharliza.
Production. Next slide. Can you hear? Can you hear?
Yeah.
Yes, we can hear you clearly.
All right. Thank you. All right, next slide. Alright, just a background. MCMC is the regulator for telecommunications, broadcasting, and postal and courier services. MCMC also regulated the Digital Signature Act and Strategic Trade Act. Next slide. Okay. Alright. MCMC issues broadcasting license to private TV and radio stations. We enforce content standards. We monitor spectrum usage. As of now, like Indonesia, we do not license OTT platform yet. Malaysia has successfully completed the analog switch off to digital terrestrial in 2019. Apart from free-to-air TV, digital terrestrial, pay TV services are available via satellites and IP TV services. To date, we have about 19 TV stations and more than 60 radio stations. Most of the local TV and radio broadcasters are now accessible via over-the-top OTT platform or applications due to the consumer preference who would like to access their content on the go and from their mobile devices. Next. As we know, AI for broadcasting brings numerous benefits and innovations to broadcasting industry. It can be adopted in the broadcasting chain, from content creation to content aggregation, content processing, content distribution, and up to content reception. For example, AI helps to generate summary of news or content synopsis for the news production and content production, identify advertisements that are relevant to general and target group, real-time language translation and subtitling, analytics of content viewer experience, preference, and trends. Next. Okay, in Malaysia, AI has also been adopted by the local broadcasters. We have Aina, DJ Aina is the Malaysian first AI-powered radio DJ on Fly FM radio. We also have AI TV presenter on RTM channels. And recently, there's in the program, the recent National Budget 25-25 program, robot has been used as a presenter. In other parts of broadcasters' workflow and operation, broadcasters also have been using AI tools to help improve their efficiency and also the content creativity and innovations. Next. There is no doubt that AI brings a transformative impact on broadcasting by enhancing and accelerates production with increased efficiency, enable tailored content based on user preference to enhance personalized experience, facilitate generation of creative content and innovation, improve knowledge access, and also advancement in information gathering and analysis. Next slide. While AI brings numerous benefits and innovation to broadcasting industry, it also presents significant challenges and ethical issues. AI is capable to AI is capable to generate realistic content. There will be challenges to distinguish AI-generated content from human-created content. Misuse of deepfake technology to create misleading representation of public figures' voice will lead to infringing legal rights and also misinformation and disinformation. For copyright, consent, and intellectual properties, there will be challenges where the infringers of rights can result in ethical and legal disputes. For AI, the extensive reliance on user data for AI-driven personalization raise critical privacy concerns. Collecting and processing personal data in AI algorithms without individual consent or for purposes other than which it was collected. Also, there's a concern about algorithmic transparency and bias. Last but not least, the challenges of AI system due to cybersecurity threats and data manipulation. Next slide. This is an example of deepfake creation. The common deepfake technology use images of voice. Our Malaysian celebrity Datuk Siti Nurhaliza's voice, in this case, was exploited in scam tactic using AI. This is on social media. Deepfake not only use voices, it uses also images as well. So this will lead to threat and also compromise privacy. Next slide. Another concern raised is on intellectual properties. If AI, for example, generates a song, lyrics, or video that are already copyrighted by a publisher, this can lead to copyright infringement in Malaysia. In Malaysia, the authority that oversees copyright issues is MyIPO, My Intellectual Property Organizations. So this is another concern that need to be take note and focus seriously with regards to use of AI. Next slide. As we know that AI bring opportunities, but as well as risks that could be threat to our local system. Among the mitigation plans that are being carried out in Malaysia, we have started awareness campaign on what is AI to all stakeholders, and as well as development of talent to learn and acquire AI knowledge. Guidelines and policy at national level has also been released, and an ongoing effort to develop AI code of ethics and guidelines that are relevant according to sector. For example, code of ethics for communication sector. Next slide. Government has actually come up with several initiatives. Malaysia has aligned with global calls in AI and already released 5 years Malaysian National AI Roadmap till 2025. Government also has taken initiative to provide awareness for the citizen to learn and develop talent by creating online platforms such as My AI Portal, a one-stop site for AI and HPC resources, guiding new users in exploring and understanding these technologies. Portal AI untuk rakyat. This allow rakyat to learn, educate on what is AI as well as development of talent. The upskill and reskill the workforce is key to align with the future needs of the industry and building the trust in AI. Next slide. Under national guidelines on AI governance and ethics, this was released this year. There are 7 principles for responsible AI was introduced, which include fairness, reliability, safety and control, privacy and security, inclusiveness, transparency, accountability, and pursuit of human benefits and happiness. These national guidelines are aligned to international best practices and standards in principles. Next slide. As broadcasters, ethical responsibility in using AI is crucial. Broadcasters must avoid unethical AI practices, set and promote the ethical standard in content generation, and always safeguard privacy and IP. Balancing innovation with ethical consideration will be key to AI's long-term success in broadcasting. Next slide. Okay. Both regulator and broadcasters play a crucial role. As a regulator and broadcasters need to collaborate to address the challenges as the technology continue to evolve. Providing a platform for people to verify and get the correct information will help to repel misleading or defamatory news and fight fraud. In Malaysia, MCMC developed website sebenarnya.my. This is a website where public can access to verify information or get accurate information on news. And broadcasters also contribute airtime program by having slots to inform and disseminate correct news through programs on TV. Alright. For future governing of AI integration, we support the establishment of a collaborative platform with the relevant stakeholders in Southeast Asia. This platform will be able to share best practices and align an ethical AI deployment for broadcasting industry. With that, thank you for listening and also for any questions, I welcome to answer later. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Shahriza, for the insightful presentation. A reminder to everyone who is attending, if you have any questions, please take a note first. We will have a Q&A session or discussion session after all the speakers have presented. Okay, thank you, Mrs. Shahriza, on the presentation on AI integration in Malaysia's broadcasting ecosystem. Now, moving on to our third speaker, representing the country of Thailand, is Mr. Jaknarin Kasem Siriotin. He is currently the Senior Engineering Broadcasting Technology Officer at the Office of the National Broadcasting and Telecommunications Commission, or NBTC, in Thailand. Today, he will be giving his presentation on AI integration in Thailand broadcasting industry. Please welcome Mr. Jaknarin.
Hello? Can everyone hear me?
Yes, we can hear you clearly.
Okay, I'll be giving the presentation in place of Mr. Jaknarin. My name is Atawat Mdalogong. I'm the Director of the Broadcasting Standard Approval Department at NBTC. Today, NBTC is the Thailand's telecom and also broadcasting regulator. The topic of my talk today will be the AI integration in Thailand's broadcasting industry. Next slide, please. Today I'll be sharing with the audience on the use of AI in Thailand broadcasting industry with some examples. And also I'll touch on some related existing governance and legal framework in Thailand regarding AI usage. And as we all know that AI has become a key driver in a number of areas in broadcasting, mostly starting from content production and audience engagement and streamlining operations within the industry. Next slide, please. From my observation for Thailand, we have seen three significant progress in three key areas. The first being the content production, then in audience data analysis, and also the adaptation of the industry. For content production, major TV channels now are using AI to craft the content to resonate with viewers, and also optimize program scheduling based on engagement data. And this would be from the audience data analysis that AI tools would analyze and interpret audience demographics and habits, thus helping to broadcasters to have a more targeted content and advertising strategies. Also, in the industry adaptation, we have seen AI influence extend to radio broadcasts also. Traditional FM radio stations are now beginning to use the AI to automate playlists and to create diverse and appealing music mixes to tailor better to listener preferences, thus improving both efficiency and satisfaction. Next slide, please. This would be kind of like repeat the last slide, but in more detail. So that be, I'll just skip this one. This is also the, like I mentioned before, about the FM station using AI to generate playlists. Coming on to the government support for AI. We at NBTC and also at other government agencies and branches play a central role in promoting AI integration by activities like supporting initiatives like AI for Thai to enhance broadcasting capabilities, and also revising master plans to align all of our regulatory frameworks to digital advancements, ensuring sustainable development. Next, please. Here I'll give you some real-world example. At one of the Thai TV station, Thai PBS, they are using AI for their real-time translation system and also for the news archive management. For the translation system, this would help them to be able to deliver live multilingual broadcasts, therefore increasing accessibility for a diverse audience. As for the news archive management, the AI system can categorize and retrieve news content efficiently, enabling journalists to deliver timely and accurate reports. Therefore, freeing time for them to do other tasks like news gathering and fact-checking. Next, please. This is just to highlight the benefits that from the previous slide with the use of the translation system that would increase content accuracy and also reduce production cost and enhance audience reach. Next, please. From a study, we've come up with some recommendation for in order for AI integration at the national level. First being to establish national AI guidelines and to promote public-private partnership to foster innovation and resource sharing. Also to invest in AI education and training to ensure a skilled workforce capable of managing advanced technology. And last, to implement continuous monitoring and evaluation, as we know that AI is still in the early stages. So we need to monitor and adapt to evolving industry needs. Next, please. This is some example of the use to create the content using AI. At one of the TV station, Workpoint, they have a very fun program and very popular here. They call Face Off, and this is in Thai, Fad Kolafa. They employ AI deepfake technology for entertainment to create virtual celebrity twins. As you can see, the picture on the right-hand side, you see two pictures of each. The program is using AI. They would be combining the two celebrity personality and face. One would be on the program, and they would be interacting with the AI, and they would have to try to guess who the other celebrity is by conversing with this AI avatar. Next, please. This is another example also in the AI news anchor at the Nation channel. So now they are using AI generated news anchor and helping to offer consistent and cost-effective content delivery. Next, please. Coming on to governance and legal framework. The NBTC and although other government agencies, we try to ensure ethical AI integration by implementing data protection regulations that would be under the Personal Data Protection Act. And we also support and embrace the global AI ethics guidelines, such as from the European Union's ethics guidelines for trustworthy AI. Also, we are having effort to prevent AI-driven fake news dissemination through the use of automated content monitoring systems. Next, please. Mainly this line is for the private sector. We are having collaboration with other countries in Southeast Asia to develop AI platform to try to foster shared learning and innovation. Their goal is to establish regional AI network to standardize AI applications and boost the digital broadcasting industry. Next, please. In summary, we can say that AI is very pivotal in enhancing a number of areas of broadcasting, such as content creation, distribution, and audience engagement. Also, Thailand is well prepared to embrace AI with ongoing advancements and strategic collaborations, laying a strong foundation for future developments. Next, please. In closing, I think for future direction, we could be expanding AI adoption across all media sectors and also encourage regional research and development. And that would end my talk. Thank you. Thank you for all your attention.
On AI integration in Thailand's broadcasting industry. That marks the end of our first session on the topic of artificial intelligence integration in the Southeast Asia broadcasting ecosystem. Now we will go and continue on to our next session on the topic of Southeast Asia digital broadcasting trends and regulations. Our fourth speaker representing Cambodia is Mr. San Puteri. He is currently the Director of Broadcasting, General Department of News and Broadcasting at the Ministry of Information in Cambodia. Today, he will be giving his presentation on Southeast Asia digital broadcasting trends and regulation. Please welcome Mr. San Puteri.
Good morning. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Can you hear me? Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you clearly.
Yeah. This morning I will discuss on the topic of great important digital broadcasting regulation and deployment in Cambodia. Before proceeding to next slide, allow me to briefly introduce myself. Myself, San Puteri, Director of Broadcasting Department of General Department of Information of Ministry Information. Today I am very excited to join the seminar on the AI, and I will to brief the status of the broadcasting in Cambodia and the trend, and also the regulation that we have existing existent to implement every day. So sorry. Digital platform 2024 Cambodia overview report by me, the radio and television in Cambodia status. The station, FM station 283 station, AM 1 station, television 23 station, digital television 4 company, DTH satellite TV 3 company, OTT over the top 12 company, radio and TV online 986 company are operating in Cambodia nowadays. And besides this, we have a social media user, Facebook, 11.65 million user, Instagram 1.85 million user, TikTok 9.96 million user, Messenger 12.84 million user, and LinkedIn 693,200 users. Next slide, please. This is a status of the television, digital television business operating in Cambodia nowadays. We have a digital TV, pay TV are operated by the private sector. There are 4 companies are operating in the Cambodia. Please next slide, please. Here the technical standard digital TV broadcasting that operating nowadays. Digital TV provided by the DVB standard, operating by the private sector, DVB-T and DVB-T2, and operate by the public-private partnership PPP by the standard DVB-T2, and other one DTMB operated by the Yunnan company, cooperate with the TVK, National TV of Cambodia. And the other broadcasting digital TV, we have a satellite TV, standard DVB-T S2, DT8, UHF for satellite TV that operating in our country. Next slide, please. This is analog and digital TV free to air. Now Cambodia are not yet to ASO. We still to use ASO until 2025. channel frequency that we use for the analog and digital TV from the 21 to 56. After the analog switch of 2025, we will to handle the mobile operator use the channel from the 49 to 56. Next slide, please. This is a Cambodia digital TV policy. The Cambodia will also to the end of the analog switch of 2025. The government subsidized set-top box to the people in the rural area. Standard DVB-T2 frequency for the digital platform, channel 21 to 37 frequency for 5G broadcast. For the next generation broadcasting, channel 38 to 48. Thank you for next slide, please. I would like to share about the experience on the digital broadcasting. Now there are 12 companies that are operating on OTT platform, and one of them are operating by the government. We collect the content from the private sector to join in the government platform on OTT. Thank you. Next slide, please. The second, I would like to raise about the visionary initiative for the ASEAN digital broadcasting. The Cambodia prepared principle regulation for the digital broadcasting to develop a new broadcasting technology, such as the 5G broadcast. The Cambodia support on the new initiative of the ASEAN member state to consider the 5G broadcast and AI in the broadcasting sector in the future. Next slide, please. Sorry. First one, enhanced broadcasting distribution. Effective content deliver 5G enable high definition and the real-time content deliver such as 4K, HK, video streaming, mobile TV, and immersive experience like AR, VR. Direct to mobile broadcasting eliminate the need for the intermediate infrastructure, ensuring direct transmission to the mobile service. The second, bridging the digital divide. Expanding rural connectivity, 5G broadcasting can cover underserved and remote area without needing extensive infrastructure, ending digital inclusion. The third, social economic growth. Education and e-learning, real-time broadcasting is the lecture, training, and content is right quality format benefit education for education. Before media monetization opportunity, target advertising, enhance data analysis, enable precise content, personalization, and local location-based advertising. Paper new view on description service, broadcasting a low innovative business model such as introduction for live event. Next slide, please.
Sorry.
Current state and challenge in ASEAN. Develop availability. Asian countries vary in their technology infrastructure, regulatory readiness, and spectrum availability. Nations like Singapore, Malaysia, and ahead in the 5G deployment, while others are in nascent state. Second, spectrum allocation. The broadcasting over 5G requires harmonized spectrum allocation. Some Asian countries face challenge in the relocating spectrum for the traditional broadcasting. The third, cost of payment. High initial cost of the deploying 5G infrastructure, particularly in the least developed region. The fourth, policy and regulation alignment. Effective implementation requires coordinated policy across ASEAN to ensure interoperability and region collaboration. The five, public awareness and adoption. Raising awareness about the 5G broadcast benefit and ensuring consumer readiness with the comparable device. Next slide, please. Future prospect on artificial broadcasting for ASEAN. Enhance regional connectivity and understanding through the inclusive content. The second, collaboration AI development project among ASEAN countries for shared technology growth. Grow in media, teach startup focusing on the AI-driven broadcasting solution. Next slide, please. Challenge and opportunity of AI in the media industry. Ethical and social concern, societal and concern. Misinformation and deepfake. AI can be used to create realistic with fakes content deepfaker, which may miss audience and propagate misinformation. Verification of content and solidity become more challenging, raising stress issue. Based on stereotyping, the algorithm might perpetually amplify base person in the present in the training data, leading to the discriminatory or insensitive media content. Private concern. At one AI-driven personalization rely heavily on the use data, raising issue about data security and the surveillance, audience engagement and trust. Algorithm designed to minimize engagement can lead to the sensationalism and spread to polarizing content overload. The abandon of the AI generation media can overwhelm audience, making the header of discern quality content. Legal and regulatory hurdle. Copyright issue. Mining ownership of AI generated content raises complex legal question. Regulatory compliance. AI in media measure navigate the diverse regulatory framework across a different region, especially for the global platform. Next slide, please. Cambodia have no law anti-fake news, but we had an interministerial declaration to monitor the disinformation for fake news on the internet by the providing guideline to the producer, publisher, distributor, and corporate with the internet and the social media companies such as Facebook, TikTok, etc., to remove or block the fake news. Next slide, please. About the future, how the future recommendation for the digital broadcasting regulator to addressing the online advertising and disruption. ASEAN should establish the technical working group on the anti-fake news to work together to combat fake news, which has also far only have been under the mechanism of the technical working group at the task force level. The second, in the ASEAN country, should to strengthen collaboration in training and sharing new generation broadcasting system, especially AI in the broadcasting field sector. The third, ASEAN should to support the organization of the conference on AI in the broadcasting sector initiated by the Indonesia next year. Next slide, please. Thank you for you pay attention.
Sorry, we didn't hear the moderator voice.
Pardon? A short introduction on Mr. Kiao Xue. He holds a Bachelor of Electronic degree from Mandalay Institute of Technology. Currently, he takes on the position of Chief Engineer at MRTV, and he's in charge of the technical department of MRTV, responsible for the engineering section, transmission of radio and TV programs, amongst other important functions. Today, he will be giving his presentation on Myanmar digital broadcasting trends and regulations. Everyone, please welcome Mr. Kiao Xue.
Thank you so much, Miss, for your introduction. Thank you, KPI authorities, for organizing this webinar. Myanmar digital broadcasting trends and regulation, in a brief presentation will be started. I am Mr. Joshua, Chief Engineer of MRTV. MRTV is the national broadcaster, the only one state-owned broadcast industry of Myanmar. The private broadcast industry of Myanmar are Forever Group, and Skynet, and another content provider, five organizations. MRTV stands for Myanmar Radio and Television. MRTV is started in 1936 in the streaming of in the broadcasting of radio only. In 1988, we started television broadcasting in color television format, NTSC 3.58. Now can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, ahora sí.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah.
we can hear you. You can continue.
Hello? Hello? Anybody can you hear me?
Hello, yes, we can hear you.
Okay, I will continue. Thank you so much. MRTV is the state-owned broadcaster and however group Skynet private broadcaster and another broadcaster is Melalui. It is operated by military service. Next slide. MRTV is the national broadcaster under the Ministry of Information and Broadcast, now broadcasting 80 free-to-air TV channels and 6 radio channels. And MRTV is a non-profit organization. And these are MRTV channels, MRTV HD, MRTV News. And these 80 channels and MRTV in-house channels are 8 numbers and 5 of them is HD format. Another prominent broadcaster is Melalui. Melalui is under the Ministry of Defense and Broadcasting, 8 free-to-air TV channels and 1 radio channel. They also in digital format. Next slide. Now I'm currently broadcasting in Myanmar. Forever Group is private TV broadcaster and joint venture with MRTV. Their transmission system is both DTT and DDH as a paid TV service, different from MRTV. MRTV is non-profit and free-to-air. MRTV 4 broadcast live TV streaming with one application named Pyongbli application on mobile. And also we MRTV running a MRTV application on mobile platform. Next slide. Another broadcaster in Myanmar is Sudan Media Company. Sudan Media Company started since about 2013 in the name of Skynet TDH platform. It is also a private channel and joint venture with MRTV. And they also transmitted in DDT and TDH as a paid TV service. This slide. MRTV started TV terrestrial broadcasting in 1980 with NDSC in color. We started with analog transmission with most of the transmitters are NEC, Nippon Electric Company. Now existing analog TV radio station currently running at 258 radio stations all over the country. As a population coverage 92.7. Most of them 155 stations are currently digitally running in DVB-T2 format. 88.7% coverage of the nationwide. The radio home service was launched 1st February 2022 on the name of MRTV TTH. And from before us, the TTH service were running in our country 2 provider. As I mentioned before, Shidalwen and Huawei Group were running on this platform. Next slide, please. And this is the roadmap of our digital transmission trip. Analog transmission, existing analog TV retransmission 25, and amount of them 155 stations are digitally running. Digital transmission was started in 2030 and for the first phase, 4 stations, 2040, 22 stations as a second phase. And then the last 2023, 8 phase, 2 stations, total of 155 stations. Up to now, there are altogether 155 stations are running for the coverage of 88.7% of the nationwide population. Next slide, please. This is our digital transmission process. Analog TV started in 2012 and 2030 digital transmission. 2030 and 2040, 22 stations of digital transmission. 2040, 2050. This is the budget year. Our budget year is start from the April of former year and end in the March of the later year. And so 2040 and 2050 is mean our budget year. We are hoping to continue to analyze our digital transmission. Right now, 88.87% is covered by digital transmission. Next slide, please. For the issue of analog switch of ASO, we started to plan ASO in 3 major cities: Yangon, Sakai, and Nebiro. Nebiro is capital cities. Public awareness were being made in daily newspaper, TV channels, and radio. All necessary things were prepared in order to get the public knowledge, acknowledgement of how to tune digital TV programs and one stopping of analog TV transmission. On 15 February of 2024, in this trade, as mentioned above, these 3 main cities, analog transmission was terminated, usually announced and terminated. Next slide, please. Another switch of station and today, Yangon is 3 kilowatt as PPVT2. Frequency range is 582 megahertz to 590 megahertz. Transmission date 50 to 2024. Coverage region is around about 35 miles center to the station. Next slide, please. The slide means the issue the transmission of DVD2 transmitters of 3 main cities. We have got analog switch off. Okay, next slide, please. As online streaming, we launched MRTV application since about 2023, and we started MRTV website since 2015. On the base of MRTV website, we created a MRTV application. for Android and iOS. They still using and still running well. Next slide, please. In the angle of regulatory process, the broadcasting law mainly concerned with the broadcast industry was enacted in 2014. The broadcasting law was enacted 28 August 2015. Broadcasting law, by law, this means by law. By law was enacted 2020. By the management of the government, currently running two regulators independently as a profit broadcasting industries. The two regulators are National Broadcasting Council and National Telecommunication and Broadcasting Team. It is as stated in law. Okay, next slide, please. National Telecommunication and Broadcasting Team was organized by the government in 2018. The team will be in charge of the spectrum allocation and standardization of the equipment, technical specification, and will supervise the release of the annual spectrum allocation of the country to the public, drafting all policies for broadcasting development, technical criteria for production, importing, distribution, and sale of broadcasting technology and its related matters in the production, importing, distribution, and sale of satellite receiver and related materials. Next slide, please. In the broadcast law, Myanmar broadcasting law, there will be 9 members in the broadcast council. The government will select the appropriate and qualified to be council's member person. After council will emerge, council is now 30. Council is now temporarily stopping for emerging. After council will emerge, it will perform its duties and functions. The council will handle all of its duties and responsibility as described in section 50 of broadcasting law, Myanmar broadcasting law. Now the processing is ongoing. Meanwhile, MRTV serves as a coordinator concerning with broadcasting industry and related matters. So new broadcaster will be needed to impound and get permit to Ministry of Information by MRTV. Next slide, please. Right now, in the current situation, people get more viewing, more attention, more using time in online platform such as social media application, Facebook, YouTube, Fiverr, as you know. Most of online plans evade censorship and contain content that undermine the state's policy, region, racial harmony, national unity, and cultural values. It is seen that some plans promote illicit activities such as gambling and sexual content. Such contents can negatively influence young people, leading to misunderstanding and inappropriate behaviors. The state lost revenue due to the lack of regulation and licensing for online films. Ministry of Information issues the orders which designate broadcasting movies via telecommunication network. Ministry aims to regulate the production and distribution of movies, using digital technology to safeguard traditional values and promote national unity. Next slide, please. Okay, thank you so much.
The
Question and
Pusat,
answer, please.
Pardon?
Have you any question, please?
Yes, we will have a Q&A session after we have all the speakers present. Thank you, Mr. Kao Shui. Continuing on to our last but not least, the last speaker of today's session, representing the Philippines, is Mrs. Annalisa Di Buenviaje. She is currently the Chief of the Broadcast Services Division at the National Telecommunications Commission of the Philippines. Today, she will be giving her presentation on digital broadcasting trends and regulations. To Mrs. Annalisa, the time is yours.
Hello, good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. To start with the presentation, first as introduced, I'm Miss Annalisa Biahe from the National Telecommunications Division. I'm the current presently Chief of the Broadcasting Services Division. As per my presentation, these are the contents. Next slide, please. First, I will be presenting the NTC mandate, the media ownership and profile of TV broadcast industry in the Philippines, the digital terrestrial TV broadcast, the challenges that we face on the transition from the analog to digital TV broadcasting, and update on the DTV migration in the Philippines. Next slide, please. The National Telecommunications Commission. This was created under Executive Order 546 in July 1979. So it is the sole government body mandated to regulate all telecommunications and broadcast industry in the Philippines. Next slide, please. The Broadcast Services Division, so this is where I'm assigned. The functions of Broadcast Services Division is to develop, formulate, and implement the policies, guidelines for the operation and licensing of all radio, television, cable TV services, and other pay TV services within the broadcast service, as well as related satellite broadcast services. With regards to content, the NTC, particularly the Broadcast Service Division, is not mandated to regulate the content of all TV and radio broadcast stations. And also for other TV services, it is the MTRCB, the Movies and Television Review and Classification Board. So this is a separate entity in charge of regulating the contents of programs. So next slide, please. So this is about the ownership and operation of broadcast stations. So first, for the ownership, under Article 16, Section 11 of the Philippine Constitution, this article states that the ownership and management of mass media shall be limited to citizens of the Philippines, or to corporations, cooperatives, or associations fully owned and managed by such citizens. So the operation of all broadcast stations should be a 100% Filipino ownership. And as for the operation of broadcast stations, Act 3846 as amended, Section 1 of which states that no person, firm, company, association, or corporation shall construct, install, establish, or operate a radio transmitting station or a receiving station used for commercial purposes, or a radio broadcasting station without having first obtained a franchise from the Congress of the Philippines. So this is a mandatory requirement before anyone can apply, even though 100% Filipino ownership. They have to secure the franchise from the Congress of the Philippines before they can apply an authority to operate any broadcast station. So next slide, please. So for media ownership, government, we have two government TV networks. This is operated by People's Television Network, Inc. and then Intercontinental Broadcasting Corporations. We have around 640 TV stations nationwide, composing of 415 analog TV and 225 digital TV stations. But as of this date, we already have 358 digital TV. This such increase include composed of the grant of the conversion. So all analog TV stations, they are required to apply for the conversion to digital TV. So this number, the 358, are composed of converted TV station to digital and some other new grantee of new grantee for digital TV. We already stopped issuing permits and authority for new analog TV. Only we are on the transition period to digital, and we're also about to start the analog switch off. Next slide, please. For government radio networks, we have the Presidential Broadcast Service and other local government units or government network. Local government units or government radio networks are composed of National Nutrition Council and also the Department of Agriculture. Those are the examples of government networks. For the radio stations, we have authorized 375 AM station and 1,126 AM stations. On next slide, please. On the policies and guidelines for digital TV, first we had issued the Memorandum Circular 05-11-2013. This was issued on November 4, 2013, adopting the ISDBT, the Integrated Services Digital Broadcast Terrestrial. This is the digital standard TV that we are using in the country. And then for the implementing rules and regulation, we issued the Memorandum Circular 07-12-2014. This took effect on January 1st, 2015 as the start of the digital switch on. Next slide, please. Memorandum Circular 0203-2016. The NTC issued this memorandum for the as a guideline for the sale and labeling of ISDBT receivers, and was further amended under MC 01-03-2017 to extend the mandatory compliance for ISDBT receivers. And of course, we also issued the Memorandum Circular 0406-2016 This was issued on June 27, 2016, reallocating the frequency band 470 to 512 megahertz for digital TV, digital terrestrial television broadcast. I will explain later why we issued this MC 0406 2016. Next slide, please. So for the challenges, first and first challenge, one of the challenges that we face during the transition is the limited availability of frequency or channels for DTT transitions. And as an option, only VHF TV service are required to simulcast. So as a remedy, we look for other frequency allocation for the digital terrestrial television. So this so why we have issued, this is the reason why we issued the Memorandum Circular 0406-2016. Okay, so also one of the challenges that we are having is the implementation of, or the use of the conditional access service. So this some broadcasters are thinking of offering pay TV service or encrypting their programs. But we are on the initial process of drafting the guidelines for CAS, or the conditional access service. However, it was put on hold as there is a need to further seek clarification from our Department of Justice on the provision for the CAS. So this CAS is still on pending with the for clarification before we will issue guidelines, or if we are going to push through with CAS. So later, if the industry still pursue to have CAS on their broadcasting service, the Commission will eventually issue a memorandum circular or guideline for the CAS. So this is the salient provisions of the IRR for digital terrestrial TV service. So only analog VHF TV are required to simulcast. And then all analog UHF TV operators, they may go directly or broadcast DTTV service using their assigned UHF TV frequency. And analog UHF TV operators may only be allowed to simulcast in areas where there are still available channel or frequency for simulcast. But for those who doesn't, for those areas that have limited channels, available channels, they can go directly broadcasting using their UHF TV assignment. And all analog TV operators are required to file their manifestation to convert their analog TV to digital terrestrial television. So there are other broadcaster who did not file application for conversion, but majority already filed their manifestation or to convert, or they already file or submit their intention to operate or convert their analog TV service to digital. So next slide, please. So for the analog shut-off, so the planning stage for analog shut-off in the Philippines started half of 2023 or July. We started the coordination meetings on July 2023 because we're supposed to have our ASO end of 2023, but due to some other challenges that we are facing, we already we delayed the implementation of ASO. So we already have the draft memorandum circular for the ASO because about since December 2023, there are about 84% of TV households in Mega Manila who are already receiving free-to-air in digital TV transmission. So we are planning to have the phase 1 of ASO in Mega Manila. So Mega Manila, this is composed of the cities in Metro Manila, and then the areas part of the provinces nearby the National Capital Region or Metro Manila, the provinces of nearby provinces of Bulacan, Rizal, Laguna, Cavite, Pampanga, and Bataan. These areas are under the coverage of Metro Manila TV station. So not the entire provinces nearby the city are considered as part of Mega Manila. So the ASO, phase 1 of ASO in Mega Manila will begin December 31 of this year. So TV broadcast stations may start shutting off their analog TV transmission, particularly in the UHF channel. They can already start the ASO. And as part of the ASO implementation, we created 4 subcommittees to address the issues that we are or challenges that we are facing for the ASO implementation. First, the ASO subcommittee. The ASO subcommittee is the subcommittee in charge of preparing the guidelines on the policy and guidelines on the analog shut-off. Then the Public Service Committee, this is in charge in the information campaign for the crafting of the information for the viewing public, so that the viewing public will be prepared with their receiver, particularly to receive digital TV broadcasts. This committee, the Public Communications Subcommittee, is headed by the Presidential Communications Office. This is the communication arm from the Office of the President. And then also this committee is composed of members from TV networks and of course the National Telecommunications Commission. The next subcommittee, the Inclusivity and Sustainability Subcommittee. This team is headed by the Department of Information and Communications Technology, and with the membership from the Department of Interior and Local Government, the Department of Social Welfare and Development, and also from the NTC. The function of Inclusivity and Sustainability Subcommittee is to identify the measures and the number of TV households that are entitled for subsidy or support which the government will provide, so that no one will be disenfranchised or will be left behind during the analog shut-off. And then last subcommittee, the Emergency Warning Broadcast Subcommittee. So this is headed also by our National Risk Reduction and Management Council, and also from the Department of Information and Communication Technology. So this committee is in charge on the emergency warning broadcasts, and also members from the other different government agencies involved in the disaster management, like our meteorology agency, the what do you call this? The Philippine Volcanic I forgot the exact name, but this is about the agency in charge on the monitoring or on the volcanic activities. And then so these are the 4 subcommittees that we are having now. For the guidelines on the ASO, like I said earlier, we already have drafted the memorandum circular or guidelines for the ASO. So, okay. Next slide, please. On the emergency warning broadcast, EWBS is the emergency warning system in the ISDVT. This is EWBS is mandatory for ISDVT receivers. So all ISDVT receivers should be capable of receiving EWBS. As I said earlier, the lead agency here is the National Risk Reduction Management Council. They already have the draft standard operating procedure for EWBS, and also they are also planning on the discussion on the procuring of the equipment for the EWBS is currently ongoing, but they are, since they are the implementer of this service, they are the right agency to address issues on the implementation of EWBS. So that ends my presentation, and I would like to thank everyone and good afternoon again for each member representative from the ASEAN and of course from the Indonesian Broadcasting Commission. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Annalisa, for the insightful presentation, along with all of the speakers that have presented their piece today. This marks the end of the speaker presentation session, and we will now move forward to our Q&A session, which will last for 30 minutes. I will read out some guidelines for today's session, and we'll put it up on the chat room as well. So important notes for the Q&A session. First of all, please first use the raise hand feature so that we can see who would like to ask questions. We will first select 3 participants to ask questions, and we'll add more if the time allows. After being selected, participants can deliver their questions directly by turning on your camera and mic, or indirectly through chat, and will be read by the moderator. And please also give your name and affiliation or name of institution. If you want to address a specific speaker, please mention them. We will put up their names and affiliation on the chat room for your reference. And please keep your questions brief and direct so as to give ample time for speakers to respond to them. Okay, for participants who want to ask a question, please raise your hand.
I think all audience are already understand. So if you want to type your question, you may type at the chat room so we can respond your question as well. From Indonesia, is there any questions? I see there are some university students and then broadcasters as well coming to the webinar. From Malaysia, participants from Thailand, maybe?
Maybe we can give until 12:05 for the participants to raise their hands. If not, we can change it into a discussion session instead, and maybe the moderator can throw in some questions for the speakers to discuss too.
I think yes, from Aceh, Mr. Muslim Daud.
Yes, please, Mr. Muslim Daud.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you clearly.
Or I should type the box.
I think if there is no question from the audience, the moderator.
Okay, we have one question from the MRTV. AI is mainly concerned in content creation across the production process in the broadcasting industry. But which one in particular would... sorry for the participant who answered the question. Are you referring to which one, which type of content, or which can better answer your question?
Okay, I think let me try to answer from the MRTV questions. From the Indonesian point of view, because like I presented before, the artificial intelligence integrations into our broadcasting sectors is at a very beginning stage, and maybe the broadcasters already implement some of their technology and then programs using the artificial intelligence, but the legal framework and then the governance frameworks for regulating the artificial intelligence in our country, I think we should learn from our fellow countries, just like Malaysia, MCMC, with their presentations very deep about the regulations on AI and then the implementation of AI in their broadcasting industry. For Indonesia, again, there are some of the concerns that we have to raise when we try to integrate artificial intelligence, not only the legal framework, but like in my presentation, we need to see very carefully about ethical and societal concerns, and then how the audience engagement and then the human resources also still there in our broadcasting industry, not fully replacing by the artificial intelligence technology. And then, of course, we need also to have more educations and training on artificial intelligence for our society, so our society will get better horizon knowledge on how they avoid fake news producing by artificial intelligence. I saw from one of the speakers cases that fake news or fake characters that created by artificial intelligence also happens in our country, Indonesia. For instance, the former President, Mr. Joko Widodo, we saw that some artificial intelligence try to make a fake pictures of our former presidents by presenting that he could speak like Arabic language or Japanese language, yeah. Then of course for the ordinary people, they don't know how to differentiate, is it real or is it a fake Mr. Joko Widodo. I think that's I agree with one of the recommendation from the previous speakers, that we have to invest in AI educations and training, not only for the broadcasters, but also for our peoples. I think that's what I can respond from Myanmar, MRTV.
Okay, thank you so much for the response. We now have our next question from Indonesia representative, KPI Aceh. So AI industry benefits us a lot, but somehow it also touched the issue of non-originality in content. How can we balance this in relation to authenticity and originality in the broadcasting industry?
Malaysia mungkin bisa jawab. Malaysia, MCMC.
Maybe Mrs. Shaharliza from MCMC Malaysia would like to tackle this question. Thank you.
Okay, I try to answer. Questions basically how do we balance okay, as mentioned that AI benefits the industry a lot, right? But there's challenges and issues that comes with it. So for broadcasters, I mean, there must be a balance in terms of innovation with ethical consideration. The responsible AI is key to actually ensure the long-term success. So that's why what we call it whenever there's creativity and innovations. You have to actually also consider, like in terms of the intellectual property of the content, for example. So AI cannot just you cannot just accept all the whatever generated by AI. We also have to be responsible, ensure that whatever generated does not infringe other copyright issues, and so that's why the responsible AI has to be comply with for every for broadcasters, right? So I think that's my comment.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Shahriza, for the response. We now move on to the next question from our participant in MRTV. Okay, can we hope to dismantle fake news by using laws, and how can we do that? Okay, so for this question, maybe a representative from NBTC Thailand would like to give a response.
Could I have the question again?
Yes, absolutely. So the question was, can we hope to dismantle fake news by using laws in the future, and how do we do that?
start off by, if you say to dismantle fake news using laws. In Thailand, for example, we have laws. It's not particularly written for AI, but it has overarching authority over. I mean, it could cover fake news. If your TV or radio station is using AI to disseminate fake news, it would fall under those existing laws. I think that's about it. I'll leave it at that for now. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, let me try to add more response for these questions. Let me try to give you some illustration what happened in Indonesia. Indonesia Broadcasting Commissions, like my presentations, we monitor any content that produced by our TV and radio free-to-air, terrestrial ones. And then because we strictly regulate the contents for those platforms, we can minimize the fake news in our broadcasting industry. But since we don't have any regulations in monitoring the content in new media, in OTT, so it's hard for us to regulate the content in digital platforms. So therefore, in Indonesia itself, we see almost everyday fake news on any kind of issues. For instance, like one we are now facing in provincial levels, we see the fake news about the political issues regarding the candidates of respective political parties for all provinces. So I think in these terms, I agree that laws can impose the fake news to minimize the fake news in our society. So the media companies, of course, they will obey, they will try to see the regulations, and meanwhile for the media, social medias, and then the new media platform, because Indonesia has no regulations on how we monitor the contents, so it produces like a tsunami of fake news these days. I think that's my response for Kiao Sui from MRTV.
Okay, thank you to Mr. Atiwat and Mr. Amin Shabana for the response. So next we have 3 questions waiting in the chat room, but I do think all 3 can be compiled into one, as it is regarding similar issues. So Ira Naulita, Bobo Tun, and Surya Naga, all from Indonesia, and I think one is from Thailand, is asking about the regulations regarding AI implementation in broadcasting, in particular regarding copyrights and code of ethics and guidelines. Okay, for the speakers from other representing countries, Myanmar, Cambodia, and the Philippines. si AI soalnya Malaysia juga kalau Malaysia. As the topic is on AI, maybe speakers from our first session, Mr. Amin, Mrs. Shaharliza, and Mr. Atiwat. Do you have any response?
I may try to answer on the AI Code of Ethics and Guidelines. So basically for Malaysia, Malaysia has released the national guideline of AI. This is at the national level on the 7 principles for responsible AI. This is aligned with what we call it international standards that has been released also. Basically based on the UNESCO recommendations. So these 7 principles of responsible AI is key to help in the implementation of the AI technology, as well as also the development of
Code of Ethics
versions.
guidelines main key.
So the 7 principles that have been introduced in Malaysia includes fairness, reliability, safety and control, privacy, security, pursuit of human benefits and happiness, and also accountability and transparency. So this is a national guideline, but the thing is, right, depending on sector, you can be also enhanced to have a guideline, a specific guideline for each sector. For example, for communications sector, separate guidelines that focus on communications activities, or maybe for broadcasting also, we can have a separate guidelines to focus on what's relevant for broadcasting. Yeah. Thank you.
Sorry, Pak Amin, we didn't hear your voice.
Can you hear my voice now?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So let me try to respond these 3 questions from Ira Naulita, Bobo Thon, and Suryanaga. I think this is what I'm trying to say at the very beginning of my presentations. Malaysia may be one step ahead compared to Indonesia, because Malaysia already have like a code of conduct on AI integrations, but in Indonesia, and I see also in some of Southeast Asia countries, we still have to strengthen to formulate the artificial intelligence integrations in the digital broadcasting sectors. So therefore we plan to carry out next year actually the forum specifically discussing about the how we governance and formulate the legal framework in these regions about the implementations of artificial intelligence. So we Indonesia, I mean, still have to learn from other countries, yeah, not only in this region but also in other regions, yeah, in United Kingdom or in from United States of America, how the advanced countries regulate the AI into their broadcasting sectors. And then for the key principles in AI Code of Ethics, like what we hear from the previous speakers, I think first of all is the ethical and societal concerns on how we develop AI in our respective countries. And of course the impact of the AI into the broadcasting industry itself, we have to prepare so the integrations will not give negative access for the human resources and also for the society. I think that's my response.
Okay, thank you so much to Mrs. Shaharliza and Mr. Amin Chabana for the response. We now have one last question from Mr. Ahyar from Aceh, Indonesia.
Okay, thank you, Mbak Intan Safira. I'm Ayar from Aceh, Broadcasting Commission. So, to continue the information from Mr. Amin Sabana that the Indonesian Broadcasting Commission is very limited responsibility to control the broadcast. So, we would like to hear from all of you from Southeast Asian country about your regulation, about your institution control for the broadcasting. It's mean like if Indonesian we only control for the radio and television, but now you know that we have new media. We call it new media, the social media, something like YouTube, TikTok, and another platform, the digital platform. It's mean and like Netflix and others, but the Indonesian Commission Broadcasting cannot control, cannot monitoring that platform because we don't have regulation to control that platform. And maybe we need your sharing from Malaysia, from Thailand, maybe from Philippines and others. How about in your country? Is there any one institution to control that platform for all platform, or only one platform for one institution, or maybe a separate platform for it's mean for related platform, maybe one institution or something else. Yeah, that's all my question. Thank you.
Thank you for the question. So basically, you're asking about the scope and how each country regulate the different platforms of broadcasting. So maybe Mrs. Analiza from Philippines can share her experience first based on the practices in the Philippines.
Good afternoon once again. For the Philippines, the NTC, as I mentioned earlier, we are not mandated to control over the content. However, a different government agency, the MPRC or the Movies and Television Review and Classification Board, they are the one who are mandated to regulate contents on TV broadcast station. And currently, there are discussions or ongoing maybe drafting of the policy to amend the mandate of MPRC. So we don't have yet regulation on internet content, but however, in the TWG or the Technical Working Group meetings I attended for the amendment of the mandates of MPRC, the content over the internet or live streaming are already proposed to be included in the mandate of MPRC. So definitely, the content is being handled by MPRC. And for the digital platform like OTT, over the top, it is being proposed to be included in the mandate of MTRCB. So thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Mrs. Annalisa, for the response. Okay, next maybe we can hear from Cambodia country representative to share Cambodia's current state in the scope of broadcasting regulation, and particularly focusing on OTT and internet platforms. Mr. Shan, Mr. San. Okay, maybe Mr. Atiwat from Thailand or Mrs. Shaharliza from Malaysia, if you want to share your response.
I think that we need to hear from Malaysia because Malaysian more.
Okay, please, Mrs. Shaharliza.
Okay. In Malaysia, we do not license OTT platform, for example, like Netflix, video on content that offer the video on demand and all that. But we are MCMC has actually has approved regulation has approval actually regulation to license social platform for messaging. This messaging platform which are like Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, X, platform X, and there are about 8 social platform for messaging that MCMC going to license effective 1st January 2025. Why we license this? Because of the content, the messaging, because a lot of content or in this platform that have scam or content that inappropriate, this is where it is critical for MCMC to actually control or license this to ensure that this issue can be action can be taken to curb all these issues. So at this juncture, in effective next year, the social platform for messaging services will be licensed by MCMC.
Okay, thank you so much for the response. Okay, thank you to all speakers and to all participants who have actively contributed to the Q&A session. So this marks the end of our Q&A session, and we hope that it has helped in enriching our minds and insights regarding the state of the broadcasting ecosystem across all Southeast Asian countries. As we are reaching closer to the end, I'd like to give a short closing statement as the moderator for today's session. So the development of technology and digital information has impacted all strategic sectors, including broadcasting. And as we hear from our speakers today, digital technology with a particular focus on artificial intelligence and digital broadcasting not only serve as an opportunity for growth, but also pose challenges that need to be overcome by the broadcasting industry, most importantly in the continuously evolving Southeast Asia region. In response to the expansion of digital technology into broadcasting, it is more important now than ever for us to collaborate hand in hand from regional, national, to even global level with the goal of implementing best practices for the betterment of our broadcasting ecosystem. Thank you. That is the end of the session. I will hand over the baton to our MC to proceed with the rest of the agenda. Thank you, everyone.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. Thank you, Intan, for moderating today's discussion, and also I would like to thank you all of the speakers and participants that participated in today's webinar and discussion. Now, to top off today's webinar, we would like to invite all of the speakers to turn on the camera, and together with all of the Komisi Penyiaran Indonesia commissioners, we'll have a group photo. Now, would you, if you please, all of the speakers to turn on the camera. Okay. In a count of 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1.
Oh.
Next slide. In a count of 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Thank you. And now, to close the webinar, we will listen to the closing remarks from Mr. Amin Syabana as the PIC of today's end-of-year digital broadcasting webinar. Mr. Amin?
Okay, thank you, Michael. It's only 1 minute from me. So on behalf of Komisi Penyiaran Indonesia or Indonesia Broadcasting Commissions, we would like to say thank you for all speakers, all participants, and then I see not only from 6 speakers countries, but I see also from Brunei, from Laos, from Vietnam attendees coming to these forums. So your informations, your data, the current information, the current situations of the respective broadcasting sectors in our countries reflect what we must do in terms of the collaborations in this region. So this forum, I think it's very important to enhance the connectivity among the regulators, ministries of broadcasting sectors in Southeast Asia regions. Next year, we will be having the workshops specifically discussing about the artificial intelligence regulations in our region. So we will be inviting you again in 2025. See you next year. Bye. Good afternoon.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Amin Syabana, for the closing remarks. And the closing remarks from Mr. Amin conclude our activities today. May our discussion today can kickstart further collaboration among broadcasting regulators in Southeast Asia region, especially regarding broadcasting in this digital era. Hopefully, many new insights and networks can be obtained by the participants to participating in the end-of-year digital broadcasting webinar today. I am Michael. Thank you and have a great day.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Malaysia. Thank you, Myanmar, Philippines, Thailand, Laos, Brunei.
Thank you, Pak
Thank you,
Koir.
Limade.
Okay.
Thailand.
Thank you, KPI.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Mr. Kiao.
Terima kasih, Mbak Intan. Keren banget. Nanti kita kontak-kontak lagi untuk kerjasama kolaborasi, ya. Oke. Kita itu nggak sih, Andima, dapat makan siang? Oh, jam 2 ya? Oke. Oh iya, saya ada meeting jam 2. Setengah 2 ya? Setengah 2 sama Mas Wisnu. Di Mbak Ira, makasih diberesinnya. Administrasinya. Oh gitu, oke.